What's up, Brooklyn Squad? It is 12:17 a.m. and yes, I am doing a video tonight. Oh, collab Harris. Yeah, I need y'all to hit the thumbs up so we can get his face out there. Um, it seems like he is getting the attention that he needs to get, which is really, really good. Shout out to Arctic Fox for sending this to me. I'm just gonna let you know that this story is very bizarre. Very, very bizarre, okay? But like all stories, rather it's bizarre, a little weird, we're not sure, we still have to put it out there. Well, I'm still going to put it out there because I definitely think that he didn't go on his own. All right, but let me get to it. Thursday will mark 1 month since Caleb Harris disappeared during the early morning hours of March 4th. Harris is 21 years old and he's a sophomore at Texas A&M University campus Christ. He is a sophomore, y'all. And guess what? This is in Texas, which even makes me more concerned. He was last seen around 3 a.m. at the cottage on Ernest Jocelyn Road near S. Pedro Island Drive. Now, I'm going to tell you something so weird, right? It's because this young man was in his cottage dorm and he told his roommate, I'm going to order some food. His roommate said, all right, well, I'm going to head to bed. And then this kid just is not in his dorm, like he just disappeared. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you. Corpus Christi police told the 3 News that they went to more than 50 businesses and private residents and got 27 different sources of video from that morning that Harris went missing. The problem with that is that a lot of this was difficult to see because it was so foggy that night. But they're still looking through the footages and everything as well. The Harris family continues to hope that their son is safe and returned back home. I think there was some bad information that intended to show that his phone was pinging miles away from where he lived or where he was last seen. I think as we progressed in the last couple of weeks, that information and gathered more information from the cell providers, the working theory we have right now is that last ping will probably right either in the complex or out on the street right in front of the complex. They're not even telling me. I don't know why did I pick that one to read. Okay, so basically they're just saying that they're looking through his cell phone pings to see where did he last ping at, right? But it's just weird because they even talk to the Uber driver and she said no, she was by herself because remember, he ordered some food. I'm going to play the news clip so you guys could get just more of a clear understanding because y'all know I babble. Okay?
Continuing our coverage into the disappearance of Texas A&M Corpus Christi student Caleb Harris. Corpus Christi police say they are still very active in this search, sharing the latest on their continued efforts to find the 21-year-old student as we approach a month since he seemingly vanished without a trace back on March 4th. And tonight, our Bill Churchwell sat in a one-on-one interview with Assistant Police Chief Todd Green. Police also addressing misinformation as well as allegations that have been circulating online.
And Leslie, police say they can rule out those roommates and they can also those friends that Caleb was communicating with that night over social media, and also ruling out the Uber driver that made the food delivery. Police telling us they've investigated those individuals very thoroughly. This, as investigators are now heavily focusing on behind the scenes work. That includes looking at digital data they've collected. Do you still need people in the community, of course, if they might have any doorbell camera, ring camera, blink cameras, anything like that? How much does that help out in an investigation like this?
Oh, it's tremendous. Unfortunately, the night he disappeared, it was extremely foggy. And the video that we've collected already, gone to over 50 businesses and different private residences, and collected video. Of the 50 that we've been to, we've collected, I believe, 27 different sources of video. The problem with that is a lot of it is very difficult to see because it was so foggy that night. But it is valuable to us. We're using it.
There are a few other missing person cases as well that are still open. But when you have cases like this, or when you have an investigation like this, do you add more people to focus on that investigation, or is it a department-wide type of deal where everyone kind of gets involved?
Well, in this particular situation, the circumstances were so unusual. Immediately, we started getting a lot of people involved. We had detectives out there. We recruited Texas Search and Rescue. We recruited, I say recruited them. We reached out to them to assist in the search. We did a massive search around the immediate area. We brought in our forensic computer examiners to download his laptop. We brought in crime analysts to go out and start searching for surveillance video, for ring camera video, and whatnot. I know there's been several in social media suggesting that we've had several missing persons of the same age and males, and that there appears to be maybe some kind of conspiracy or something going on. Early on in the investigation, we went back and reviewed all of the missing persons reports for the last 3 years to look to see if there was any connection. Now, there are some similarities, and there's some similarities. Caleb was an avid fisherman, avid hunter. We've had a couple other missing persons where it's similar. They're avid fishermen or avid hunters. But there was nothing that we found that showed any type of a connection.
We spoke with Caleb's dad, and he said he was 100% confident in CCPD that you guys are doing everything you can to find his son. Are you confident in the department and the work you guys are doing to find Caleb?
I'm very confident. I've been amazed by the work that's being done behind the scenes. We have some very talented people. They're not out on driving around in a patrol car. They're behind the scenes going through computer data, issuing search warrants for digital information, subpoenas, all those types of things. And it's not a glamorous job, but they're doing incredible work.
Just some of the questions from Bill's one-on-one interview with Corpus Christi police today. What we've also gotten from police is the most detailed timeline to date coming from authorities regarding Caleb's disappearance.
So I'm reading that he walked his dog also. So he walked his dog, he ordered some food, and then what? He just disappears? Just doesn't sound right. And we're gonna watch some video also, other videos of course. They do have a Facebook group that I'm looking at now. And I'm gonna send you guys over there as well with me. But let's continue to watch this news footage.
So here's what police have outlined to 3 News. Now, there are several details in this. On the evening of Sunday, March 3rd, Harris spent time at the apartment with roommates and a friend. 12:56 a.m. Monday, March 4th, doorbell camera shows Harris, a friend, and one of his roommates in the parking lot of his complex. 2:20 a.m. A second roommate says he's going to bed. Harris stays up to order Uber Eats. At 2:44 in the morning, Caleb sends a Snapchat video to his younger sister of him walking a dog in the complex parking lot. At 3:03 a.m., Caleb sends a Snapchat photo to a high school friend who lives in San Antonio. That picture, we've learned, showed a small bridge over a drainage ditch within a few hundred feet of the entrance to his apartment complex. At 3:12 a.m., again, this is all on March 4th, is when Harris's cell phone last shared its location information with the nearest phone tower. At 3:20 a.m., the Uber Eats driver delivers Caleb's order to his apartment, leaving it at the front door. At 11 Monday morning, one of Caleb's roommates finds the delivery order. His wallet and keys are in the apartment, but his cell phone is gone. So is Caleb. Caleb's roommates report him
So
missing.
the
Police
last
say this is the
was
best timeline they've
last
been able to compile with
connection
what's
was
available to
312.
them. But as the investigation evolves, it is subject to change. We know that there's a lot of details and information on there. We do have more of that for you in an article on our website, KIIITV.com. Now, you might recall the family is offering a $25,000 reward for information that leads to finding their son. There is a tip line, and that number is 361-826-2950. The deadline to call in tips for the reward is March 31st, and that's this Sunday. Police followed up on 14 Crime Stopper tips, 31 tip line calls, and several others from various sources.
3:12 a.m. basically was his last time anyone basically has seen or heard from him. Okay. Let's go to Facebook. Okay. So this is a Facebook and it is public. I just joined. The reward is $50,000 now, guys, okay? It's $50,000. So it did go up. And this is the video here. This is the ditch they wanted to show. Why? I don't know. You see. Okay, I see. Just in case. Oh, Lord. I'm sure they probably checked that though. Open the door. Nobody is in the ditch, they said. Okay. Okay, I don't know what this is. Somebody's there. I don't know what this is right here. If anybody knows, please let me know. I'm so new to this case, guys, like I am a lot of cases. But I do believe in just putting it out there, you know? Not just gonna hold on to the damn thing. Hold on to the people's pictures without putting it out there. So this is supposed to be somebody hiding in the ditch? Well, that's creepy. I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm looking at. The group has gotten out of control. So sorry you and your family are being harassed by these crazies out here. Well, did he go to? Everybody keeps talking about some ditch. Did he go to a ditch? What's going on here? Okay, let's see. What is this? My wife, mother-in-law, and my mother went out and search party. We went through the. Okay, so somebody found this at the search party, and this was 3 days ago. As you can see, huh? That is like a camp, like somebody was camping out. There's another group there for him. I want to go back and see something on YouTube for a minute. Because now I'm really interested in this case right now. I'm sorry, but yeah. Yes. This is very strange, guys. Just bear me a minute. Just bear me a minute. So I'm trying to see something. I thought, hmm. Wow. Okay. Is that it? In Texas College disappears. Yeah, okay. Let's see something here. Yeah.
Texas Search and Rescue and the Coast Guard worked together to find him.
We're using the cadets that we have currently in the academy right now to actually physically get their boots on the ground and canvass the adjacent fields, the drainage ditches, the area like that.
According to investigators, Harris disappeared without his wallet or keys, and his phone has since been turned off.
It's really weird.
Doesn't happen, especially in today's day and age. People don't go hardly anywhere without their cell phone.
Right.
Former law enforcement officer and current security specialist Roy Smith has covered investigations for over 20 years. He says there's a specific process when it comes to investigations, especially when someone has gone missing.
So you want to try and build that timeline to piece it all together of when the last time the person was around. And then you want to try and find out, okay, is there foul play? Is there a chance that he was harmed in any way? Was he assaulted?
The past week has been filled with questions and worry for the Harris family. The father, Randy Harris, says he's thankful for the support that he's been receiving and is hopeful that his son will return home soon.
I can't even begin to tell you how many people around the world are praying. Keep on the lookout, keep posting, keep praying. And, if he hears anything, to know that, he's loved and that, he's not in trouble. Nobody's after him, and just come home. Give us a sign. But God's going to lead him home.
Texas A&M University Corpus Christi also released a statement regarding the 21-year-old's disappearance, saying the Corpus Christi police continues to lead the investigation into missing Islander student Caleb Harris. Last Thursday, the Island University held a gathering in the Hector P. Garcia Plaza to support Caleb's family, friends, and classmates during this time. We urge anyone with information on Caleb's whereabouts to call police. TAMUCC remains hopeful for Caleb's safe return.
So my friend Arctic Fox did a live on him. So let's check
That's
that out.
approximately 840,000 children a year that are reported missing.
Sure is.
And when an Amber Alert is issued, most reports of missing or abducted children can be resolved in hours. However, the majority of our children are not that lucky. The majority of our children that do go missing do not receive any type of alert. For them, there is no fanfare. For the parents, it's almost like pulling teeth to get their child's case heard. For so many of these children, there is no media coverage, and their case flies under the radar. Many of these cases involve situations where a child goes missing permanently or for an extended period of time. But together, we can change things. Together, we can be a voice for the voiceless. Together, we can be an Amber Alert for the children who get no alert. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let's help bring all the children home.
Oh, I love that. I love that intro.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. Haven't been live in a hard minute, so you guys bear with me if I'm a little unpolished tonight. I want to introduce my two guests on panel tonight, Mind of Monsters and Duchess Discussions. You know, I do a lot of work with Dutchie, and I've started working with Mind of Monsters again, and we've got an important case to talk about tonight, and a case that I really don't feel like is getting the coverage that it deserves. 21-year-old Caleb Harris, he's a college student out of Corpus Christi, Texas. He went and walked his puppy with his roommates, friends, came back, ordered some Uber Eats, and seems to have disappeared. And his family is very concerned. They're asking for people to start talking about Caleb's case and getting the word out. This man's been missing for 26 days as of today. And so we really need to talk about what's going on here. And so I want to welcome Duchess and Mind of Monsters, and let's get started. How are you ladies doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me as a guest to talk about this case.
Absolutely doing great. I'm honored to be here tonight and be here on panel with you guys. Thank you.
Same here. It's
well, I'm thankful to have you guys here. Now you get... Oh, always. On your screen, you can see Caleb's face. Again, college student, 21 years old, 5'11" tall, 180 pounds, out of Corpus Christi, Texas. And the Corpus Christi Police Department is asking for people's help in locating Caleb. According to a Snapchat ping, he was last seen at around 2:45 a.m. on the 4th of March near his apartment complex, The Cottages, in the 1900 block of Ennis Jocelyn Road near the campus of Texas A&M University. After letting his dog out, Caleb left behind his vehicle, his keys, his wallet, his ID. He did take his phone with him. And at the time that he went missing, Caleb was wearing teal pants and a white shirt. Caleb's phone last pinged at around 3 a.m. And they're asking if you have any information on Caleb or his whereabouts to please get in contact with the Corpus Christi Police Department at 361-886-2840. I know that I have been researching the case, and Caleb's dad says that there was absolutely no reason why he felt that Caleb would take off like that. I mean, the last thing Caleb did was order snacks so that he would have them for school the next day. Hey, Blondie. I want to welcome everyone. Hey, Blondie. Hey, Barbara Hall, Marion. Hey, Kit, Dandy. I'm so glad everyone's here tonight. Let's see, Michelle, Chris, Allie, Grandma. So many of you. Good. Elmer, Southern Gal, Carrie, Mexi, Texie, just thank all of you for being here tonight, and I really appreciate all y'all. But yeah, we're going to dive into the case, and I want to hear what Duchess and Mind of Monsters have to say, because this is a very perplexing one, guys.
It really is a perplexing case. When I first saw this, the thing that's been steady on a lot of people's minds is how many people are going missing without their shoes.
Exactly. That got me too. I'm used to it happening with autistic children because that happens frequently with them, but not so often with adults.
Right. This case is just so unusual. I was kind of doing a catch up, today from the Corpus Christi. I think I dropped that link in chat from the WordPress from Corpus Christi, the senior officer that had an update on the 28th. And I was just reading back over this case, and I have a lot of questions.
I do too. How does this young man just disappear? He had sent a couple of Snapchats prior to going missing, and the last one seems to be a little bit of alarming to me because it's just a desolate bridge area, and that's the last thing he sent.
Right. And the one thing I liked about this article from the senior officer, Jennifer Collier, she is the one who put this out for the citizens of Corpus Christi from the police department. They actually established a timeline, the detectives, for the night that Harris disappeared, and it's in that article. And I think it was really enlightening to kind of read this on the 28th, to kind of walk it back through what had happened. He had been, interacting at a nearby apartment. He's caught on videotape playing with a puppy. He's seen a couple of different times. And I guess that's when he sends a couple of these Snapchats out to his friends. But then suddenly he's apparently walking around the neighborhood with this puppy at 3:03 a.m. I think is when that last Snapchat went to his friend in San Antonio, Texas, when he was by a small bridge over a drainage ditch on the 1900 block of Ennis Jocelyn. And that was just a few hundred feet from the entrance to his apartment complex. And after that 3:20 Uber driver leaves his food, he never shows back up.
Hmm.
Does
Yeah,
anybody
and I know that there's been a couple of discrepancies.
Was the dog found? Because I know that was the last time he was walking the puppy. So do we know where did the puppy come back?
That I haven't seen any information on whether the dog came back or not, but I do know that initially the initial report was that he had picked up his Uber Eats order, but in that statement that was put out by law enforcement, it says that the roommates had found his Uber Eats order still sitting there the next day.
Right. Where is the puppy? Because he was walking his dog. So he was with his friends walking his dog, and then he came home, decided to get something to eat, but his order was still out there the next day. I know I heard that part in the news also, but that's a really good question, Duchess. Where's the puppy at? Very interesting. This is crazy.
That's right. With his truck parked out front, the only thing missing was his phone. All of his personal belongings, his wallet and his keys were left behind at the apartment. And all that was missing was him, and his cell phone. And his cellmate, his cellmates, listen to me, I got cell phone on my mind. His roommates described him as somebody that's a homebody, a creature of habit. So, once they couldn't find him after they found his food on the porch, they decided to call it in. Southern Gal True Crime says, I think I read he took the puppy back and went back out for some reason. See, that's not according to what the police statement is. Now, maybe they're not giving us all of the information, but, in that WordPress document, according to the police, It says at 2:44 a.m. he shared a Snapchat video with his younger sister depicting him walking the puppy through what appears to be the apartment complex. And then at 3:03 a.m., Harris sent another Snapchat photo to a high school friend currently residing in San Antonio. And the photo depicted a small bridge over a drainage ditch on the 1900 block within a few hundred feet of the entrance to the complex. And at 3:12, that Harris's cell phone last shared location data with the nearest cell phone tower. And at 3:20, that's when the Uber Eats driver delivered the order to the apartment, leaving it outside the door per the request on
Wait,
the
did
order.
she say he went to go
And
meet a
it
friend
says
at
this is
the...
currently the best. Did the puppy come back?
That I haven't seen any information on whether the dog came back or not. But I
That's
do
what
know
I love
that
it.
initially the initial report was that he had picked up his Uber Eats order, but in that statement that was put out by law enforcement, it says that the roommates had found his Uber Eats order still sitting there the next day.
That's right. With his truck
Does it
parked out
not?
front. The only thing missing was his phone. All of his personal belongings, his wallet and his keys were left behind at the apartment.
Which is strange.
And all that was missing was him, and his cell phone. And his cellmate, his cellmates, listen to me, I got cell phone on my mind. His roommates described him as somebody that's a homebody, a creature of habit. So, once they couldn't find him after they found his food on the porch, they decided to call it in. Southern Gal True Crime says, I read he took the puppy back and went back out for some reason. See, that's not according to what the police statement is. Now, maybe they're not giving us all of the information, but, in that WordPress document, according to the police, it says at 2:44 a.m., he shared a Snapchat video with his younger sister depicting him walking the puppy through what appears to be the apartment complex. And then at 3:03 a.m., Harris sent another Snapchat photo to a high school friend currently residing in San Antonio. And the photo depicted a small bridge over a drainage ditch on the 1900 block within a few hundred feet
That's
of
where
the
the bridge
entrance
came
to the
from.
complex.
The ditch.
And at 3:12, that Harris's cell phone last shared location data with the nearest cell phone tower.
He took a picture.
And at 3:20, that's when the Uber Eats driver delivered the order to the apartment, leaving it outside the door per the request on the order. And it says this is currently the best timeline investigators have been able to compile while working with existing available data. But it is an ongoing investigation, and this is evolving, and it's subject to change as more data and information is required.
Okay, so remember when I said, what is the ditch for? Why is people keep showing the ditch? So he took a picture by that ditch to show somebody. So that's where that ditch came from. And that's why that girl with the person that we saw in the picture was showing the ditch and how far it went farther down and things like that. And I was like, where the hell, why they keep showing the ditch? So he took a picture over there. But then he went back inside and he ordered his food. That's the thing. Allegedly.
So, the more that they research into this, they just went on to say that the Uber Eats order was found at the front door. His truck was parked out front. His wallet and keys were left behind. The only thing that was missing was his cell phone, but it never gave any other information about the dog being returned. It did say they took his laptop. All of his firearms, fishing gear, and waders, all of that were found in the apartment. No sign of a struggle. No sign of a violent act, no signs that the apartment had been recently deep cleaned for any reason. Everyone's been extremely cooperative. This just has me puzzled. What are your thoughts, Mind of Monsters? What are your thoughts?
I had to grind on it today because I really, I had seen him actually in one of the groups, the missing groups. So today I did a lot of reading up on his case and watching some videos and interviews. What I
Okay.
saw was that the dog was returned to the home,
Okay.
and that the Uber Eats was left on the porch.
So
They've got
did
him in the
somebody
ring.
bring the dog back, or did the dog come back on its own?
The
Did
way
they
that it
say?
was the way that it was written when I read it, it says the dog returned home. And it was written just like that. It didn't say he returned the dog. It just said the dog returned home. And that the Uber Eats was left on the porch, and he just seemingly just vanished. And something else that I found was very concerning was the sheriff. I believe it was the sheriff, or it might have been a detective. I'm almost positive it was the sheriff that was speaking in an interview. Said that people that are searching to be careful searching around that bridge because it has methane gas. And he was concerned about people going under that bridge or anywhere near it. So that was kind of an odd thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting that's
Yeah,
the area of
they've
that.
talked. Yeah, I mean, and that now we have had several people confirm that the dog was brought back, and then he went back out after he brought the dog in. And I had some people asking about the roommates and stuff. The law enforcement has talked with everyone that had contact with Caleb that day. The friend that he had been playing video games with in Colorado, the roommates that he had been out walking the dog with, they have all been talked to, and everyone has been, they said that they're not people of interest in this case, including the Uber driver. The Uber driver had that there's no reason to believe that she had anything to do with this.
In fact, in the police document that I'm reading, it says here that the detectives confirmed that the Uber driver was alone by reviewing surveillance video from the convenience store where she picked up Caleb's order, and she has been eliminated as a suspect in Harris's disappearance.
It's so strange, though.
And I know Barbara was asking about cameras. It's Corpus Christi. Exactly. And, if you were going to leave, if you were planning to take off, you wouldn't do it barefoot. You would take your wallet and your keys with you, your vehicle. You wouldn't go on foot barefoot like that. So this certainly wasn't something that was planned. And as far as the cameras go, Barbara, it's Corpus Christi. There's cameras all over the place there.
Yeah, Barbara, let me give you a little statistics just to let you know. It says that investigators said they have been checking over 50 businesses and private residents. They have retrieved video from 27 different locations, including city-owned traffic cameras, but they continue to search for additional sources. Detectives have written 16 electronic search warrants, submitted over 70 preservation requests, and issued 14 subpoenas for electronic data related to this investigation.
Yeah, I mean, Grandma, yeah, it is a perplexing case. That's why we wanted to talk about it tonight, because, aside from Mob Crew, I've seen very few people covering this case. I think Steve with True Crime Web has covered it a little bit, but there's not very many people talking about it right now.
Misty says it was very foggy that morning. Very interesting. And it also did say that forensic computer examiners have already reviewed over 600 gigabytes of electronic data and continue to pore over other data as it arrives almost on a daily basis. That's pretty interesting. So,
wow.
It seems like they would have found something. As much as they just said they went over. I mean, 14 subpoenas. Wow.
This is true. And we don't know what, if anything, they found on the electronic devices. And he has his phone with him. I know they've done phone pings and everything like that. He didn't have his wallet, so they can't track any type of banking information. That's what's scary, when people go and they don't have any financial documents, no bank cards, no checking account with them. There's really not much you can do to try to track them. And it appears that the phone has gone dead or is turned off. So.
Right. And I thought it was very interesting that they went on to share that the team that is investigating Caleb Harris's disappearance is actually consisting of investigators from police department's criminal investigation division, the organized crime unit, the FBI, the Texas Rangers, and the United States Marshal Service, along with 3 forensic computer examiners and 1 civilian crime analyst. So they have followed up on 14 Crime Stoppers tips, 31 tip line tips, and several others from various sources. That's the most information
Yeah,
I
and
think I've
K-Rock
ever
says they're
got.
still waiting. Yeah, well, they say that they're still waiting on information on his phone records. And Kim, yeah, we did talk about the bridge that was kind of sus looking. That was the last Snapchat sent by Caleb with his phone. We talked about that earlier.
What kind of got me is they said that police say no signs of struggle or hit and run were found in the apartment complex or the surrounding area. A search of the apartment yielded no evidence of struggle, violence, of any sign that the apartment had been recently deep cleaned. So basically, there is no sign like if there was a killing in that apartment, basically, or something went down in that apartment and they tried to clean it up, it would have showed that. And there's no signs of that. So I guess they must have tested that apartment from here to West Bubblefuck, every little god darn inch, because they're saying that there's no evidence of that. They're saying that the roommates are cooperative. They interviewed the roommates. Or his weapons were there. His firearm, fishing gear, um, his laptop. And his laptop was turned over to the CCPD forensic examinators. Okay. So only him and his cell phone is missing. Him and his cell phone. What is going on here? Where's this kid at? And this is in Texas? Every time I hear Texas, I'm like, oh my God, Texas. The human traffic zone. Jesus. Poor kid, man. He's 21 years old. He's still a kid, in college, doing the right thing. And
bridge is not very far from the complex, Lisa. Not very far at all. What did they say? They said it was like less
Let's
than
see.
3 miles or something like that.
Yeah, let me look. It says it's just a few hundred feet from the entrance to his apartment complex.
Yeah, so not far at all. Mind of Monsters, go ahead and give your input. I mean, you've been reading up on it all day today. Tell us what your thoughts are.
He seems happy to me. I mean, what we see in pictures may not always be what it is, but he seems like a fisherman and was going to college. And, if he's gaming and has friends, it's like it's so many puzzle pieces that are missing from this puzzle. Law enforcement seems like they're on it, especially if they have the Texas Rangers on it. Those guys are phenomenal. It's weird that he walked the dog. I mean, and it's not uncommon for somebody his age to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. If he had school the next day, that would be kind of strange. But I did read something about a fishing trip too. So, why would he have just vanished into thin air? And I haven't been in Corpus Christi in about 20 years, but the last time I was there, that's a nice area. There's a lot of nice houses on stilts and the beach is beautiful. And it's not, the part that I was in didn't seem like a high crime area. So it's like, people don't just vanish. And I think that's what's eating me the most about this is people don't just vanish into thin air.
Right. And according to the police document that I was reading through earlier, it did say, according to the police department, that Harris's two roommates told them that that Harris replied that he was going to stay up and order snacks via Uber Eats for his school lunch later that day on Monday. That's what the snacks were for. It was for school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his behavior, according to the dad, was nothing out of the ordinary. And the poor man, he is torn up about his son. He just doesn't know what to think. I know that they've got a GoFundMe for the family to help support the search efforts and everything right now. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for sending everyone over from Nonsense. I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for being here. I told them earlier today that you would be going live, that we'd be talking about this case, because here we have another missing person. They have captured all of this information, camera footage. They have talked to everyone that's involved. Everyone is, being cooperative. They have issued all of these warrants for electronic devices. They are running forensic data as we speak, and they have not come up with anything. And he's been missing since March the 4th. I mean, we're coming up close to a month on Caleb Harris. It just seems like they would have come up with something.
I know. I mean, and we just passed a month on Sebastian's case, and so we've got to start, really pumping Caleb's face out there, because his case has been completely overshadowed by Riley's and Sebastian's cases, and no one's really pumping his case out there.
And see, that's the problem right there. When high-profile cases gets really, really, like Sebastian's case and Riley's case is really, really, really out there, people forget about other cases like this young kid. They start to just talk about Sebastian. There is other cases out there. Now, I don't know, but he's getting attention. I don't know. They're saying that he's not getting much attention. Maybe from content creators, but the news is putting them out there, which is a good thing. But us content creators really gotta listen. There is more cases than just Sebastian, and Riley. You have millions of people going missing every second, every minute of the day. It's not fair when they're just putting that same child. So when they do that, it's like, well, you do this for clicks and views? Like, what are you doing? Because they know that that's viral right now. That's what's, hate to say it, popping. And it's a shame. It's really fucked up.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if he hadn't been in one of the groups, I wouldn't have seen him, to be honest. I haven't
really
seen
appreciate everyone being
around Twitter.
Yes, we do appreciate. Hey, Six Cents Amelia, it's good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while. It's so important. We have so many missing people, and this young man caught my eye because I saw that he lived in Corpus Christi, and that is near the water. And when I think about these cases that happen along the coastlines, I always worry about somebody going out in the water. But I did see they saw that his waders and all of his fishing gear and everything, was at his apartment. So I'm like, well, he didn't just decide to go out on the boat or go out fishing or something crazy in the middle of the night. And that's why I asked about the dog, because I had not seen anything, and it wasn't mentioned in the police summary on the 28th. And I figured that would have been a critical part, was, did the dog come back? I figured that would definitely be in there, considering they gave all the details of everything else. I wonder if was having any trouble in school. Like, did anybody know if he was doing well in school? Was he socially and athletically active in school? I mean, I don't know what his major was or anything like that. Did he have a
Well,
girlfriend?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, but like I said, the dad didn't say anything about him struggling in school or anything. But I also know, having been a college student, that even if someone's struggling, they don't always let their parents know about that. So,
Yeah.
Especially at that
And
age.
it seems like there's a lot of college students and, well, young adults that are going missing. We have a lot here in South Carolina, and I just feel like some of these people aren't, going missing because they want to be missing. It just makes me really concerned. We had that case that I covered out of North Carolina, the young girl who said she got her car and all of her phone and everything stolen at a gas station in Greensboro, North Carolina. She still hasn't been found, and she has 5 kids. So,
crazy.
and she's a young mom. She's 25. So I'm like, where do these people, where are they? They just did. I mean, they can't just disappear.
And Southern guy was asking if anyone knows how close the closest camera was to the bridge. I am not aware that any of that information's put out or been put out, and I know that they haven't said anything about any medical conditions that they have. So.
Yeah, we'd probably have to look at it on Google Earth to see if, what that area looks like, to be able to have an actual idea, because it doesn't actually give a construct in this document, stating where the cameras are actually located. So, but it sounds like they've tried a lot of. Are you putting in your 10 cents? Thank you. Hartley says that they need to look at the cameras.
Well, I mean, and I agree, but the thing is that the bridge was apparently within feet of the apartment complex, and that apartment complex had cameras all over it. So let's see. I agree, Dippy. Let's see. Hold on a second.
Well, at least, it does say that they did search Caleb's apartment and they found no evidence of a struggle. Did not look like any violent act had been carried out in his apartment, and there were not any signs that the apartment had been recently deep cleaned. Because that was one of my other questions. So when I read this updated article, that was very helpful.
Yeah. Mind of Monsters, if you want to try to share that, I will put it up on screen. Let me just do this.
Okay. And it's incredible that they have all of these agencies.
This is what I grabbed from Twitter today.
Okay.
So here's
Go
the
ahead
bridge.
guide us through it.
Okay. See, you don't know what you don't know until you're looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
So the methane gas, that's concerning.
Very
so there's
concerning.
the apartment complex right there.
Yep, right here. So you're not far from the apartment complex. I mean,
no, because it
looks like a nice area.
Yeah, because it said it was just like 100 feet from the entrance.
Mm-hmm. And then, if I'm not wrong, this it's another gated community.
Wow.
And then you have the bridge that's literally right here. Or right to the bridge.
Now, see, when I look at these open roads like this, I think about areas where I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. When it's 3 a.m., and you're out walking on these roads like that, I
Mm.
mean, you got people that come flying through there
Yes, you got to be
because
very
we're a
careful.
tourist town, and you have people that are driving intoxicated, and if they don't see you, we've had people just get hit from walking on the road. It just happened. We had a death just a couple days ago where somebody was out walking on 31
Mm.
and somebody hit them. And I just wonder, like, if that happened, where's he at? Like, is that possible? Is it possible?
Can you
mean,
show that bridge again there, Mind of Monsters?
Yeah.
The bridge is like within feet of the apartment complex. It's not far at all.
Yeah, it's like right there beside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Misty is saying something about the gates not working. What gates are you talking about, Misty?
Or it's a gated community.
Okay, so
Go back up here. You can see the gate right here.
Okay.
Hey, Kimber, thanks
It'll
for
let me
coming
get
over.
close to it.
We're glad you're here. We're glad everyone's here to listen to this case. It's so important.
Mm-hmm. So he lives in a gated community?
Yeah, thanks for that information, Misty. I did not know that the gates
Are you
weren't
local,
working.
Misty, to that area? Camera and gate to complex did not work. Interesting.
Oh.
Well, that's
Wow.
concerning in itself.
Wow.
And then this is something else, and this is just me from working cases and living in Florida. Right here's an interstate of some type or a highway. And it's a trend, girly. It's a trend in these missing cases. There's an interstate nearby.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that may just be my true crime brain, but that's highly concerning to me.
Yes, that's what
Always look for
she's
things like
thinking.
that,
What I was
too.
thinking. Yeah.
We think a lot alike. Thank you,
Yeah.
Misty. Thank you, Misty, for letting me know that. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
If
Michelle
you
had
have
asked
any
if we-
information, tell us.
Well, now, Michelle, they looked throughout the neighborhood for signs that someone had been hit by a car, and they also
Right.
called all the local hospitals, law enforcement, and family to see if there were any identified people that fit Caleb's description, and there wasn't.
So he lives in the gated community, and the gate and the cameras was not working. Well, this just ain't good. But what about other cameras, like Ring cameras, those Ring cameras that people are talking about? I think she said cameras. I definitely heard gate, though. So the people just gonna walk into your gate? I mean, what kind of mess? Allegedly. Wow. And she was saying the interstate, and that's what I was saying. Like, I'm just not. This is Texas, y'all. So you can imagine what I'm thinking. And I've said it before, trafficking a lot of times. And it don't have to always be sex trafficking. They be picking up these people to be making them work. Human trafficking. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Wow. I want to know what his roommates had to say. I would like to see I would like to not hear but also look, because a person's eyes tells everything, and not only that, you can look at a person and just tell the body language, you know? Yeah. But let's continue.
And did he have a girlfriend?
Right.
Or had he just broken up with a girlfriend? Like, what was his relationship situation like?
Exactly.
Had he, was there somebody that he had been, that he had recent argument with? Or did he have any enemies? I mean, he doesn't look like he would have any enemies. He looks like he's a sweet young man, but you just never know. I mean,
Yeah, it's crazy
we
that
have
those
to ask
gates weren't
ourselves.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, and that's concerning too, New York, because I just did a big video yesterday talking about how the truck stops along the interstate system are a network for traffickers.
See?
And so that's also very concerning because I know I-40 runs right through the area.
Okay, Rob says no girlfriend. Okay, interesting. That's good to know. Because you got to think about all aspects when you think about why somebody might be missing. Like, did they have any enemies? Were they, were they into drugs? Were they in addiction? Did they have a criminal background? Would they be running away from something? Would they be running to something?
Right.
Could they have met with a dire situation? Like, could they have been robbed or hit by a vehicle? And obviously it says that his roommates and everyone, they've been more than willing. Like, his
Right.
roommates were the ones that actually reached out to law enforcement because they couldn't find him. So
Yeah. And it's just completely baffling. With as many cameras are there in that area, you would think one of the cameras would have at least caught something. It just blows my mind. I know that Missing 411 has tried to cover this because of how baffling it is too. Yeah, I had seen that recently where they were going to cover it.
yeah.
Dippy, the family says it's just completely out of character for him, that this is unlike him. His dad said that he didn't show any signs of anything being wrong or out of the ordinary.
Shame.
It appears to be an exit, and this is a busy little area. Sorry, guys, I was traveling around on the map with y'all. But I mean, you got businesses on this side. I was looking for a truck stop. There's a gas station. And this is a little ways up, but the whole thing's concerning.
Absolutely. Dippy, the address was in the 1900 block of Ennis Jocelyn Road.
Mm-hmm.
The Cottages apartment complex. I'll tell you, apparently he doesn't have a girlfriend or didn't have a recent breakup. Misty says that the CVS right on the other side is probably the closest camera.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
This over here on this side, that's a mattress firm.
Yeah, it does say they got more than 50 businesses and private residences. They were checked for video, and that video was actually received from 27 different locations. City-owned traffic cameras, plus the 27 locations. So the 27 locations are separate from all the traffic cameras. But they're looking for additional sources. So, if you know something, if you have any information, please reach out to law enforcement and let them know. And they've offered a $25,000 reward for information. And I think his father appeared on News Nation. Is that correct?
I believe so. I know that he's been going anywhere and everywhere that will have him, trying to get Caleb's story out there.
Good.
The award has went up to 50,000 now, guys. So as of a few days ago, well, I don't know. I can't say a few days ago. I saw the reward go up to 50,000. Well, we actually saw it as I put it in, as I took you guys to the group. Remember, you saw the poster 50,000.
Do you want to play that video for us, or?
I don't have it. I didn't have a chance to really look for that video earlier, Dutch.
Let me see if I can find it, and I'll send you the link.
Okay, or you can just share it and I'll add it to the stream.
Yeah, let me look it up on my laptop real quick.
He went on Nancy Grace, I believe, or this may just be an interview with Nancy.
Dippy, they talked to the Uber driver, pretty much cleared her. They've talked to all of his roommates. They've talked to the person he was gaming with in Colorado, and none of them are considered even remotely persons of interest at this time. No, he did not take his wallet with him at all.
Trying to look and see if I could find a video.
Thank you, Pinon.
For that. He looks like such a sweet young man.
Yeah, he looks like the boy next door. He liked to fish. That was his big thing. All the pictures I've seen of him are doing outdoors things. And they said that when they went and looked at the apartment complex, he had waders, fishing gear, and hunting gear there. So. Well, Dip, they're still doing the forensic analysis on his phone, and they haven't come back and said what, if anything, has been found. I don't even know they have the full results of the analysis back yet.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I don't know if it's going to echo, so let's all pray
All right.
that it doesn't. Okay. Let me know when you're ready, when you can see it. I'm going to try to get it back. It's not going to be blocked. What are you talking about? Don't block me. This thing is going to get on my nerves. Hang on, let me go back and I'll click on it again. I don't know why it wants to block me. Why is it not going to play it? Hang on. Of course, it's going to take me to an ad. No, we do not want to sign up for that.
I'm so glad we have people from the area in chat tonight that can answer questions that only they would really be familiar with.
Yes, we really appreciate y'all being here. Bear with us for this ad to go through for Babbel. I need to turn the volume. Why is it not letting me unmute this thing? There's something. It's glitching. It's not letting me. Hang on. Let me stop sharing this for a second. I got to figure this piece of crap out. It's not letting me play this video for some reason. I don't know what that function is. I don't understand why it's doing that. It's wanting to be difficult.
Hold on.
I've dropped one of the links in private chat that you might try that link. It's the News Nation link, but I'm not sure if it's the first or second interview.
Right, I've got it playing now. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
To I give up. Au revoir to It's Too Hard. And hola to real conversations with real people in a new language. Ready to find your follow through? Get Babbel. It starts here. Start learning today at Babbel.com.
And it still will not play the volume on this. Why? It won't let me unmute it. That is weird AF.
To where he could
There
be.
we go.
Police say the
There you go. All right, let me
week,
start it.
and a $25,000 reward is now being offered for any information leading to where he could be. Police say the 21-year-old Texas A&M Corpus Christi student disappeared in the early morning hours of March 4th. Caleb's parents say he took his roommate's dog out for a walk, put the dog back into the apartment, and at about 2:45 in the morning ordered Uber Eats. The food was delivered and placed on the doorstep, but Caleb never picked it up. Joining me now to give us the latest update in the search is Caleb's dad, Randy Harris. Randy, thanks once again for joining me. I'm so sorry we're still having this conversation because it means Caleb isn't back home yet. Any weekend leads or updates you're able to share?
Not a whole lot. I mean, we're just working diligently with the authorities and search groups and family and friends. And today we'll be doing a lot of additional just door knocking. And we've got friends that have donated their helicopters. So I'm going to be up in a helicopter today doing some aerial searches, hopefully some areas that we haven't been able to get to with, 4x4s or ATVs and boats. Not a whole lot of direction just yet. We're still trying to find true north, and we're just hoping today we'll get some breaks.
Yeah, and I know it's all hands on deck, and that police have recently expanded their search into your hometown, New Braunfels, San Antonio. But you're saying you don't even know enough to at least have an area of focus nearby land or even waterways?
Not right now. I mean,
Okay.
we're chasing every single lead that comes in. Of course, we're offering the reward now, so that's hopefully beginning to bring in some leads that we can at least go look for. That's what we're hoping.
I also understand Caleb has been spotted in some surveillance video. Can you share more with us about what that video entails? Anything concerning in that footage that you saw?
In that particular one, that was around 1 a.m. They were outside playing with the dog, and we've kind of mentioned that they were just outside playing with the dog, having fun, and that was a doorbell camera that caught them out at that, just right there at the apartments.
And which one is Caleb? Which in that video?
The white shirt with the cap.
The white
on.
shirt. Okay. What about phone pings? Anything from his phone records?
Just 244 sending
So right there.
Yeah.
With the white cap and the white, like he doesn't, I mean, it just seems like nothing unusual.
No.
What Mecky did bring up earlier when I was dropping all this in chat or in our Discord is that it's almost like he looks directly into the Ring camera. And I don't know, I just found that odd. Like it's almost like when you watch the footage, he looks almost straight up at the Ring camera.
That's interesting.
And then phone went off around 12:58. There were some additional AT&T IP pings that we've been really focused on right there at his apartment, and then pretty close to his apartment area as well. We've been really focused on those because we feel like the phone was possibly there somewhere. But at this point, we'll probably never find the phone because of the time frame that we're in.
So the phone ping there. Interesting. So that was all the way down the road on the same strip of road?
Mm-hmm.
What the heck was he doing all the way down there?
No telling. I think we'll get a lot more information gained once all that forensic analysis of his devices come back, because we'll know who he had been talking to online. Besides just the friend that he had been playing video games with, maybe he had been talking to a girl online that no one knew about. We don't know until we get all that information back.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing also, man. Connecting with people online that you don't know. Now, he was online talking to people. We don't know if this young man probably went out to meet the person before his food came. Like after he ordered his food, he said, "All right, let me go meet you," and it just turned left. Or maybe it was a girl that he probably was gonna hook up with, and then wind up not being the girl. You got to be real careful with talking to people online, because look at this shit. The kid is missing. He's missing. Who the hell was he talking to online?
Yeah, what if he had been Snapchatting with somebody, or what if somebody had sent him a message on Facebook or TikTok or something like, "Hey, can you meet me somewhere?" And
Misty said that the police have said that ping is not accurate.
The one here by this pain management center?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, Mark says, and Mark's right, a ping can go 3 miles with signal. Also, the number of towers will affect the ping.
Yeah.
But we're still, we're still definitely positive.
And we have a map and a route they're going of kind of those last movements with the phone pings. We've also learned that when Caleb disappeared, he wasn't wearing shoes. He didn't have his wallet.
What? He
certainly
wasn't
wouldn't have
wearing
been able to get
shoes.
very far on his own. Do you think Caleb asked for help from someone? Was he that type of person?
We don't know. We really don't
Maybe
know.
he wasn't wearing
He is the kind of
shoes.
kid that would help somebody if they needed help. So we really don't know. We don't know if he came up on something and somebody needed help, and we just don't know. We don't have that direction, and that's why we're really begging everybody that has security cameras in and around Corpus Christi and other areas, just take.
It looks like his mom, too. I can't imagine what this family must be going through. So what if he went out there to help somebody? What if he saw somebody that looked like they needed help and he went out there and then something bad happened?
That's another possibility. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of these young men have good hearts and would stop, like his dad said, stop to help anyone. And there's a lot of people out there that will set people up to take a fall by pretending that they're struggling. So it's only something that we have to consider.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Go back to that 2:30 to 3:30 or 2:30 to 4 o'clock time frame, and look at your camera and see if we can find anything, because in today's technology, there's got to be a video out there somewhere.
Yeah. Speaking of videos and just asking for other people to please come forward and help, you're using social media to help in the search for finding your son. How exactly are you using that help, and what do you want people watching right now to know?
Social media is great. I mean, everything from, obviously Facebook and I've posted stuff on some of my business LinkedIn pages, Instagram, things like that.
This is what drew me to this case. You see this picture right here? It made me think of Tyler Doyle.
Yep, me too.
And I kind of got the chills. And I was like, please say this guy did not get on a boat out in the water. And that's when I had to look into the case, because, I mean, it's hard for me to cover every single case, but
I know.
Just, this is so wild.
And Terry, there's been absolutely no talk or indication that he was intoxicated when he went out.
Yeah, I wonder if, I'm sure police have asked the roommates all of those questions. 100%.
Misty says that they had a barbecue and that they did have some drinks, so maybe he had a slight buzz or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're just hoping that, again, somebody sees something, somebody says something that would lead us to a lead and find him.
Well, we are praying that your family gets answers. We'll continue to keep a spotlight on Caleb and his story. Randy Harris, thanks once again. We'll check back in with you soon. Please keep us posted.
Wow.
Yeah, Jose, I saw where shoestring is missing. I had intended on covering that earlier and got tied up with other things, but I did see that. Now, Southern Guy, they have him going out the front door of the apartment. I have not heard if there's a back door. I know some of the locals could probably tell us. Misty would be able to tell us that probably better than anyone. He went out. Oh, okay. Misty says he went out a different door when he left again. So no ring camera caught that.
Wow.
So the camera footage of him going out the front door was just when he took the dogs out. When he came back, he went out a different door.
That seems weird, doesn't
That's
it?
weird.
Like, if I'm leaving my house, I usually go out the same door every time.
Right.
I mean, yeah, my back door will also take me outside, but
unless he was going to meet somebody and he didn't want his roommates to know.
I'm just curious,
Yeah, and especially if you knew that you had just placed an Uber Eats order and they always leave that at the front door. I've never had an Uber Eats delivery person drop anything off at my back door. So I don't understand why he would leave through a different door either. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
No, it doesn't. Unless he was going to meet somebody and he didn't want his roommates to know, so he was kind of like going on the down low, which then would make a little more sense. But why would he? That's the only thing that I would think of why he would leave out a different door. But yeah, that is very, very strange. This is very strange, y'all. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this, and have any of y'all heard about this case?
Right. Dippy asked if they've dragged the river or the water. That's a good question. I don't know any of that information, but if there's water under that bridge, I wonder, surely they have gone down there to search to see if it's under the bridge or in that.
Misty says the back door is to the parking lot and the front door is towards the grass and the pool area. So in that case, Uber Eats probably would have delivered the food to the back door, I would imagine.
Yeah, that is kind of backwards. I would expect it to be the other way around, but you never know.
They've had underwater drones searching as well, it looks like. Rob says that they ran dogs through the complex and no scent was picked up.
Oh, Lord, another case where the dogs didn't pick up a scent.
That's strange. Seems like the dogs would have at least got him leaving the property.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if he just had no shoes on at all, socks. He had to have left some type of scent.
Exactly. Did it rain? What was the weather?
Not sure. Misty, was there any rain in the area when he went missing?
Because sometimes that can harm the scent trail.
Yeah, I know.
So I have to. That's the first thing comes to my mind. Is what was the weather?
I know they said it had been foggy. Oh, okay. Here, bloodhounds and canines were there. They've not released what they found or didn't find.
That's fair enough.
Okay.
And then Misty says they used cadaver dogs like the third day, not really scent dogs. Well, he didn't take his vehicle at any rate if he left in a vehicle because his vehicle was still there.
Yeah, but he could have certainly caught a ride with somebody.
That's true.
That's why the digital forensics is so important, because if anybody called his phone, called him on Facebook Messenger,
right.
You know, if he had a WhatsApp, Google phone number, like they could be able to see all of that and know exactly who his last person that was in contact with him was, and possibly track that down. That's why the phone evidence is so important. They didn't get that in Tyler Doyle's case.
Yeah, the phone evidence is vital in any case. I think the phone forensics will tell us a whole lot more. And Terry, yeah, they've had drones out searching. I don't know about the rural areas outside of town, but I know they've had drones within town. And so Misty says, yeah, they've had them covering the rural areas too.
So they do have drones out there searching and everything. Which I would expect that, you know what I'm saying? Damn, this is really strange. I just hope they find this young man. I'm gonna have to end this, y'all, because it's like going to 2:00 in the morning, and I have to get up early and do a few things. I started this late, but please hit the like button, give Arthur Fox a big shout out. And I do want to do a live on this also as well, because he's saying that nobody's really talking about this young man. So shout out to Arthur Fox for bringing this case to me. And yeah, we got to get this going, guys. This young kid is missing from Texas at that. Texas. Oh, Lord. I really hope they find him. I really, really do, because I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. To me, it's not looking too good. But I always got faith. You never know. You know what I mean? You never know. And I pray that God that they find him. I really, really do. With that, everyone, you guys have a blessed night, and I will see y'all again soon.